We're going to start a site plan, and with it, we're going to put some utility lines. We could go with lines and text, but I thought I'd show you how I used an existing family that I created a long time ago. It's nothing more than just a detail component. And I could change the text spacing here. Let's say 12 feet. Let's make it 9 feet. And it changes spacing. So it's pretty much parametrical. You could do a lot with the spacing here. And then when it gets really short, it still shows you 1. Doesn't give you an error as soon as it gets a little shorter. So let me show you how I did this. We're going to start with the label. So if you go to the label family here, all it is a generic annotation label. Let's start from scratch. Go File, New, Family, Annotations, Generic Annotations. We delete this. Create, Label. We'll put one here. Give it a parameter. Say text. It's going to be a type parameter, and the name is text. Let's put it in there. We'll go with middle center, somewhere here, nudge it up, and then File, Save as Family. We'll put it in Families and say Label 2. Save. Now the next thing we need to do is a detail component family. File, New, Family, Detail Item Line Based, Open. And what we'll do is put a line, create line, put it down there, align the tip, align that, and align this there. Now let's go back to the label 2 and load this into the project, which is family 2, which is what the family we just created. And we'll put it somewhere here in the middle. Okay, let's put a reference plane in the middle and give it a dimension of equals. We're going to lock this label, align this, that. Now let's edit this type and give a parameter to this text label. Label. Okay. 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 Let's go to the family types. Give it a label of gas. Okay. Now that works as one of them. Let's save this family. Save as family. Detail component. Utility line. Save. And if we load this into the project, here, all you're going to get is one text for the entire line. Let's go back to that family and we'll start putting multiple texts in there. We'll do a copy of this reference plane. Control, copy. We do a mirror. And let's give this a dimension of 10. Let's label both of them as hidden dimension. We'll give it an instance. Okay. Now let's put another label in there and line this up. There. Let's clear this space. Do an array. Go to the last. Make it 4 for now. We'll align this last one here. Then we'll select this array dimension and label it. Text count. Instance. Okay. Now let's try to put it into the project. This is the middle text, and these are the 4 array texts. You can use this at this point, but we'll add more versatility to it. Go back to that family. Let's give it a width of 6 feet for now. Okay. For this text, we'll give it a visibility cloak of middle text, instance. Okay. And then for this, we'll edit the group and give it an array of array text. Instance. Okay. Okay. And we'll finish the group. We can start turning these on and off. Okay. Let's try loading it into the project. With this, you could turn this off. You could play around with it. Make it 6, stretch it out, out. Now, that's pretty good. Now this is already pretty good, because if I copy this and do a stretch here, I could turn this on and turn that off. And I'm good to go. And I could also start duplicating this. Edit type, duplicate. ES 3 inches. Okay. And give it that value. I could change this back to, and I could match this. That's pretty good. Now this is a little more automated. It decides on how many labels you want based on the spacing that you're putting in there. So let's go back to this family. Now what we'll do is create another parameter called text spacing. It's going to be an instance. For now, we'll give it a 1 foot spacing. Okay. And now we'll start doing the formulas. Ta-da! Actually, it took a while making these formulas because I kept making mistakes on the open parentheses and the text, spacing, spellings, and the caps. So we're cutting to this point. And I'll just explain what we have here. The best way of doing these formulas is first doing them in a notepad. And this is the first argument, which is a nested AND argument, which means if the length is greater than 2 feet and less than 3 feet, right here, then we do a length divided by 2. Otherwise, we'll use whatever value there is in the text spacing. On the arrayed text, if the length is greater than 2 feet, it will turn on. Otherwise, it will turn off. And then exactly the opposite on the middle text, which is if the length is less than 2 feet, it will turn on. Otherwise, it will turn off. And then on the text count, if the length is less than 2 feet, then it's 2. Otherwise, it's going to be length divided by spacing. It's pretty simple. You just have to be careful with the parentheses and the spelling, which is case sensitive. So here we go. So if we click OK and load it into the project, you could bring it down, bring it up. So I'm going to leave you with the formulas that I used. And you could press pause on your screen so that you could copy or look at the formulas. Here's a bigger one. This might be better on the screen.